No, let's talk about the haircut. Sometimes in life, we take risks. Sometimes those risks work out, and sometimes you end up with a haircut that looks like this. I made the cardinal sin of giving a new barbershop a try, and as you can see, they proceeded to absolutely fuck my shit up. I mean, they obliterated all sense of my identity. I asked them for a medium length cut, not too much off the top. And I don't care if we're using imperial or metric, but this ain't medium. In fact, it's none of the words I used to describe what I wanted. But it's nice to know that I'm not alone in risk-taking gone wrong. JoJo Siwa rebranded, and everyone hates it. See what I did there? That's the kind of quality content you get on this channel, where we turn tragedies into segues. JoJo Siwa is sick of JoJo Siwa. So JoJo Siwa decided that she would leave behind JoJo Siwa and instead become JoJo Siwa. That's right, JoJo Siwa's all grown up and she's edgy now, and she's ready to say, hey world, I am an adult now. The hair bows are out. Accept me as I am, or don't accept me at all. But just know that I am an adult now. And if I want to spend $400,000 on a Lamborghini and then take it to my local Jiffy Lube for a rap job featuring 67 of my own faces, then I will do just that. Because that is what adults do. JoJo's been making the rounds on the internet for the past few weeks, which is kind of a big deal. Most stories these days only last about a week in the social media cycle. But JoJo has managed to stay relevant for weeks now. Not for any good reason, but, she's relevant. Ever since JoJo came in like a wrecking ball at the iHeartRadio Music Awards, people everywhere have been asking, the fuck? JoJo's got a new look, a new attitude, and a couple of original songs to jumpstart her singing career. I mean, it sounds pretty good on paper. It's just that the vibes are off. It doesn't feel like natural or organic. It just feels very forced. The whole thing just reeks of marketing, and it just all just feels very disingenuous. But it's also JoJo's Delusions of grandeur. Grandeur? Let me Google that real quick. Grandeur? Okay, Google. How do you pronounce Delusions of grandeur?
That's pronounced Delusions of grandeur.
Grandeur. Then why the f*** is it spelled with a D? Fucking dumb shit English, dude. But it's also JoJo's Delusions of grandeur that have people really just put off by this whole thing. Name-dropping contemporaries in an offhanded way to try to place herself into a category she absolutely does not belong in.
The way that I'm able to keep going, some of the most respected people in the world have come up to me and been like, what you're doing right now is so right. It is what the world needs. I am learning from what you're doing right now. And I heard that from Lil Nas X yesterday. Heard it from Megan Trainor a few days ago.
Claiming to have invented a new genre?
When I first signed with Columbia, I said, I want to start a new genre of music. And they said, what do you mean? And I said, well, it's called gay pop. And they were like, what's that? And I was like, it's like K-pop, right? But it's gay pop. Songs like Applause by Lady Gaga. It's the On My Own Miley Cyrus. Can't Be Tamed Miley Cyrus. Karma. It's that world.
Declaring her love for all things music, but also not knowing who Gene Simmons is?
I'm getting like a sexy glam Gene Simmons sea creature.
Ooh.
Going on here.
You know, the amount of references that people have told me I look like in this video that I have no clue what they are is sickening. I'm adding that one to the list, but I'll take it. I heard sexy and I heard sea creature, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't think Gene Simmons' sea creature was a compliment, JoJo. This is how I know that JoJo's team absolutely does not have her best interest at heart. They're just there for the paycheck. You're telling me in all of the months that this Spirit Halloween Kiss cosplay was being put together, that not a singular soul on your team told you who Kiss or Gene Simmons is? Everything she's doing to push this rebrand and her new song just feels very forced and performative. It's almost as if she's just trying to buy her way into a new career instead of earning it. And because of all this, she's been getting a lot of backlash on the internet for weeks now, pretty much constantly, which honestly cannot be an easy thing to endure. It's easy to participate in, it's easy to dunk on other people, but when you find yourself on the other side of it, it's honestly a nightmare. But still, you would think she would take some of this criticism to heart and try to be a little bit more humble about all of this. Or she could just quadruple down.
But I'm kind of the only influencer that also does music. You know what I mean? Yes, there are influencers that do music, and yes, there are musicians that are influencers, but no one that is the equal amount influencer / musician.
Also, about this clip, sunglasses indoors, stuffy nose, stuffy voice, acting real overconfident. The last time I was around people that had stuffy noses, stuffy voices, were wearing sunglasses indoors and acting real overconfident, it was in college, and there was usually a substance involved. Not saying that's what's happening here, just sharing a personal anecdote. At least I hope that's not what's happening here. Some unsolicited advice. There's nothing good down that road, JoJo. I hope you're just down with the flu. Now, here's the thing. JoJo is still very young. She just turned 21, and man, she threw an epic rager to celebrate it at Disneyland.
I should have known better. I had a wish I would have never effed around. Yeah, we know it.
Wearing a bedazzled construction uniform. Gotta lock in that blue collar crowd. Hashtag relatable, am I right? But the point I was trying to make is look, guys, we were all a little bit shitty at 21. You know, think back to your 20, 21-year-old self. Do you like that person? I can't speak for you, so I'll speak for myself. I do not like that person. That guy was an idiot, and he wouldn't have taken criticism well either, so I can forgive some of JoJo's behaviors because she's still very young, and I hope that she still has time to grow and mature, and that she will try to work on herself and grow and mature. She's still got time. But still, it is really hard to root for someone that is just so far up their own ass.
No one has made this dramatic of a change yet. No one has made, in my generation, this extreme of a switch. And I am the first in the generation. It is very scary, but someone's got to do it.
And like I said, all of this rebrand exists to push her new song, Karma. The thing is, this song has existed for a very long time. JoJo Siwa simply bought the rights to it. And honestly, that's perfectly fine. It's very, very common in the music industry to do that. That's not the controversial part. The controversial part is the self-obsessed narcissism that JoJo just is oozing about everything she's doing in this rebrand, even regarding this song.
Number one, they're the reason that it started before it even came out. Number two, whether people like to admit it or not, Karma is a lot of people's guilty pleasure.
She didn't directly say she wrote it, but she definitely implied it that way.
Ultimately, I want to make art that makes the world's head turn. I didn't know if Karma was going to do that, and then all of a sudden I put a little bit out, and the world's reaction literally was, what?
Well, it's already charting, and it's not even out yet. What was your reaction to that?
That is insane. I want to find out if that's happened before. I don't know if that's is that a thing?
The audacity to say that you invented gay pop? I don't even know if gay pop is an official subgenre, but if it is, it's been here. It's been here for so long. It's definitely been here before you, and it most certainly has been here even before me. And I'm fucking old, dude. Sincerely thinking that you invented gay pop is Donald Trump levels of delusion.
I wrote Karma. That's right, folks. I wrote Karma, and in doing so, I invented a new genre called gay pop. The greatest original music you've ever heard. I call it the greatest original music you've ever heard. For 50 years, they've been trying to invent gay pop, and they couldn't do it. Can you believe that? They tried it, they couldn't do it. You know, when I first came in here, I took a look at the pop we had, and I said, you can't let this pop continue. You're not going to have a country left if you let this pop continue. This is the worst pop anyone's ever heard. I looked at the people, and I said, this pop needs to be more gay. And so I wrote Karma, and in doing so, I invented gay pop. We asked everybody, we looked into it, and I invented K-pop.
Hey, what are you talking about? This has to be rage bait, right? Like, this has to be intentional rage bait at this point. Like, JoJo and her team can't be this dumb. My hope is that JoJo still has time to grow and mature. But judging by her behaviors, her beliefs, and the company she keeps around her, I fear that JoJo is destined to be that influencer that thrives on hate and controversy to stay relevant. A bold strategy, Cotton, but I mean, it does seem to be working out for her. Hey, you know what might help your rebrand, even just like a little bit? Maybe we don't hang out with the alleged predators. Maybe we leave the alleged predators, behind. I like to lead with empathy as much as I can, and I do want to empathize with JoJo. I really do. Because let's not forget about the things that have happened to JoJo as well. I mean, this poor girl has not had a normal life like you and I have had.
I think people forget that my whole life has been criticized and judged and watched. It's not easy. It's very tough. I've had a lot of people say really cruel things to me, but I have a really good bubble of people.
You sure about that?
She's been in front of the camera pretty much her entire life, and she's still only 21. Being influenced by, I guess Hollywood culture from a very young age in her formative years, and being surrounded by honestly terrible people. Like that lady from Dance Moms or whatever the heck that show was. JoJo and all those kids suffered excessive verbal abuse on Dance Moms.
She deserves nothing. You deserve nothing else. You earn it. You can't stand here and cry.
Well, if you yell at me, I'm gonna cry.
Get out.
I don't care who you are, what you coach, what you teach, what practice you're into. You do not have to turn into an absolute monster to command greatness from your pupils, especially if they are literal children. I resent and reject this kind of coaching style. I think it's just an excuse for weak-willed people to inflict trauma and exercise power over others. It is a disgusting means of coaching, and it should not be tolerated anywhere. JoJo's entire existence has been stepping in front of one camera to the next, stepping in front of one performance to the next, and in the process amassing tens of millions of fans and tens of millions of dollars. Look at how many Lamborghinis she's abused, dude. All of that attention, wealth, and power accumulated in your formative years before the age of 21. Yeah, that's gonna do some. It's gonna do something, And it doesn't seem to have done anything good. That kind of attention and power, that's gonna definitely inflate your ego, like beyond recognition. I think that JoJo right now just needs to take a pause and just kind of check in on herself. I really think this is just a case of her just being lost in her identity. This is all my opinion. It's all speculation. I'm just some guy. Take whatever I say with a grain of salt. But I really feel like she's just kind of lost right now. She's just trying to figure out who she is, what she wants to do next. And, that's totally fine. It's unfortunately, all of it is happening in front of the internet, in front of the entire world. And due to your very self-obsessive behavior, everyone's taken their chance to dunk on it. But the thing is, I do genuinely see some genuine part of JoJo in there yearning to break free. It's just, it's buried under a lot of ego. So I don't know, man. Maybe you need to take a vacation, go to a retreat, go see a shaman, perhaps even therapy. I think that's the kind of stuff you figure out with professionals. And I'm really not trying to be funny about that. I do sincerely mean that. Because, you're young. You got a lot of time. I would love to see you become a better person. I would love to see everybody in your company become better people. But over the years, it's just been kind of repetitious behaviors and patterns that don't seem to be changing. So I don't have a lot of hope. But, it's up to you. It's your journey. But with this whole rebrand thing, I just feel like you gotta earn this. This just feels really fake, Let me give you a metaphor. A caterpillar cannot buy its way into becoming a butterfly. It must recluse and break itself down in order to build itself back up and emerge something entirely new. There's no shortcuts when it comes to personal development. You got to do the work. So I really think you need to just take a pause and just reflect on everything that you're doing, how you're acting, just really just kind of zoom out and take a look at your life and maybe rearrange some things. Because this ain't it. This ain't it because respectfully, your singing needs a lot of work.
You're still a traitor. Yeah, you're still a traitor. You're still a traitor. Yeah, you're still a traitor.
JoJo, see what happens when you act pompous about talents that you don't have? You can't be this bad at singing and then also claim to be the voice of your generation. Come on. It's okay to try and be bad at something, but as long as you're humble about it, I think people would be a lot more supportive of what you're doing. But to be objectively bad at singing and then also say you're the best to have ever done it, that's a hard thing to root for. That's a difficult thing to root for. This also ain't it because Karma is an old song. You bought an old song. It's old. It sounds old and not in the clever nostalgic kind of way. It's just old. Okay, look, I think I have the perfect idea of what you should do with this new look, Joj. Can I call you Joj? No? I'm sorry. My apologies. JoJo, I think you need to go into the WWE. No, I'm not joking. I am sincere and I'm dead serious about this. Just think about it for a second, JoJo. A professional dancer, a influencer, a YouTuber transitioning into singing? That's so typical. It's predictable. It's boring. But JoJo Siwa becoming a WWE superstar? Now this I gotta see. Influencers are already infiltrating the WWE. Honestly, there is no better time for you than right now. I'm telling you, dude, hit up Logan, get in that ring. You already have the costume, persona, voice, and body language of a wrestler, and I do mean all of those things as a compliment. Your wrestler name can be Karma. Your entrance music can be Karma. I don't think some of you are convinced yet, so let me set the stage for you. Follow me into the moment. The lights go out. It's pitch black in the entire stadium, and then suddenly you hear, "I was a bad girl," from the Jumbotron. Spotlight comes on. The only thing you can see in the entire stadium is JoJo Siwa at the entrance, costume sparkling in the spotlight. She raises the microphone up to her lips and says, "My name is JoJo Siwa, and I came here to invite my ex onto my podcast." "I was a bad girl," cues up on the Jumbotron again. Then JoJo Siwa drop kicks the nearest audience member and she starts to sprint towards the ring. Crowd goes wild. JR I don't know if he's still on the mic, but he's like, "Oh my God, JoJo Siwa, we didn't expect that." Just think about it. Just think about it. Because Karma as a name for a wrestler goes hard as Your finishing move can be, whatever this is. You just kind of do that, and then when you come to, you can you clothesline him or just hit him in the face. I don't know. You'll figure that part out. But I'm saying, you can incorporate that into your moves list. I'm just saying. Imagine JoJo Siwa from the top rope in a cage match at WrestleMania. I would watch the out of that. JoJo, I get the feeling that you've spent way too much money on this rebrand and you didn't expect people to hate it quite as bad. If you did, genius. That is genius levels of forecasting. But now I get the feeling that you know that this rebrand has a short lifespan because people are hating it so much and you need to get that revenue back as quickly as you can. So this is it. This is how you save the rebrand. You call Logan Paul and you get in that ring. Screw singing. It's not for you, okay? That's not you. You got to get in that ring. In the meantime, as you're thinking about it, maybe limit your public time with alleged predators and leave the Lamborghinis alone. Okay, they've done nothing to you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and comment down below. That helps me out tremendously to help the algorithm push this video to more people. And if you want to become a member of the ATG, simply hit the subscribe button to secure your lifetime membership to the most above typical community on the internet. Sorry I was gone for pretty much the whole month of May. I was busy working on some other projects. More details on that soon. But yeah, I'm back. Got some video ideas in the works. I've got some fun stuff coming up for you guys. It's really time consuming doing this single-handedly. So doing my best. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you on the next video really, really soon.